Hi guys, Tom on Sports here. So I was thinking of this. Is Paige Bueckers versus Caitlin Clark their real rivalry? So in the media, they all the casters have been trying to sell this Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark as a rivalry, and there is a little bit, and it's interesting because of the college finals that they had in 2023. However, talent wise, it's not that close. I think Reese is going to be a really good player in the league, but Clark looks to be, or it seems to be, a generational talent that is going to define the league. Paige Bueckers was the original uh, talented player that was coming out of that class in 2020, right? She was the hype player from high school. She was the number one talent coming off high school, and that's why she went to UConn, right? Because UConn is the eh, is the number one college in terms of um, females basketball, and they get usually the best recruits. On the other hand, there was no hype at all coming out of high school with Caitlin Clark. I mean, um, recruits knew that she was a good talent. That's why she was in the World Cup in 2019. But there was no hype, right? And she didn't go to UConn, and well, she ended up being in Iowa, where she was near her family, and she became a legend there. Think of this: in 2019, right, in the World Cup, Paige Bueckers was the MVP of that World Cup, under 19 World Cup, of course. But do you know who was the person on the bench who sub Paige Bueckers every time she went for a rest? It was Caitlin Clark. She was the sub of Paige Bueckers. 2 years later, in the 2021 under 19 World Cup, there was no Paige Bueckers there. But do you know who was there? Yes, Caitlin Clark. Do you know who was the MVP? Caitlin Clark. So the thing is that Caitlin was um, a talent that, in a way, came out of nowhere. Right? People didn't expect her to be that good, and she improved a lot during her college years, especially uh, coming out of Iowa, right, where she was the only star, and she had to carry the team. Also, Lisa Bluter as a coach helped her a lot, and well, she became the star that she is today. On the other hand, Paige suffered important injuries, right? First one in her foot, and the other the ACL that took like 1.5 years of her career, of her college career, and that's why there's not that much hype right now behind Bueckers because of the injury-prone profile. However, she's still probably as talented as Caitlin Clark. It's a different type of player, but she's as talented as Clark, and that's why I think it's a way more interesting rivalry. Not in the personal way because they get along. They were part of that 2019 World Cup, and they were teammates, and they have had interactions where they look like they are maybe not friends, but at least they are fine with each other, and they get along. But talent wise, this is probably the two most talented players of a decade, maybe, right? Or at least in the last few years. they definitely can define the future of female basketball. And if you story wise, it's interesting, right? Kaylin was the sub, but now she's the superstar, right? Paige was the original, chosen one to say, and now it's Kaylin Clark who's looked like this chosen one, the best talent and probably one of the goats if she continues to develop her talent. But Paige is coming there, and let's see how she develops in these in these years uh, college season, and probably she will be the number one pick of the draft next season, next WNBA season, and I think it's gonna be interesting. I think that's gonna be like who is going to be the face of the league type of rivalry, and I think it's way more interesting in college when they faced each other. First time, Bueckers won, right? UConn won. Second time in their senior year, right? In Kaylin Clark's senior year, she won, and that's how the story is looking like, right? That Clark was the sub, was at the beginning the underdog in that, uh, let's say, in that fight, but now she's a superstar and she's looking better. But now that um, Paige is healthy, let's see, maybe she comes and tries to reclaim the title that she was supposed to have, right? The future face of the league. I think next season is gonna be interesting, and maybe they will be battling for the face of the league. Let me know what you think. As always, please thumbs up and subscribe.